Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here inside Raleigh's Iceplex. I'm Drew Blevins alongside Chris Lehman for Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of NC State ice hockey. As tonight, the Wolfpack will take on the Duke Blue Devils. NC State is coming in, putting their top seed in the ACCHL on the line. Chris, Duke has not historically been a formidable opponent, but NC State has struggled as of recently.
Yes, you're exactly right, Drew. It's been ever since they came back from winter break. Coach Gazzillo and the team has said they're a little bit out of shape. They were missing some bodies, and that's why you saw them lose 9-0 to Liberty, 5-1 to Virginia Tech, 4-2 to Wilmington, and then last weekend they lost 3-2 to the Miami Hurricanes. But it is some good news. They are getting some guys back.
Over the course of the last 4 games, NC State has been outscored by a 21-5 margin. But Chris, as you alluded to, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were missing Sam Banashevitz on the beginning road trip at the 2015 portion of the season, had a couple of injuries to Dan Blue and Chris Wing, and now they're getting all of those guys back. How does that affect this team?
Well, it's perfect. It's exactly what they need. Perfect timing as they get back into ACC play. Chris Wing and Dan Blue both had broken hands. As you said, they're both back tonight. Sam Banashevitz was back last week. He was sick the week of the road trip. And then you also have Jack McDonald out right now, but that's the only injury. NC State's got everybody else back. Alex Odd back from some concussion problems. So I think this NC State team will be a lot better tonight. They'll be better rested because they have more bodies, and they're starting to get back into shape.
They're certainly going to need to be sharp. Granted, the Blue Devils have not been the greatest of opponents over the past few years. In fact, NC State has not lost to Duke in 4 years. However, Duke this season is only losing by an average of 1.5 goals, and recently they played Elon to a 2-goal loss, and the University of North Carolina, who also has 10 points, tied for the top of the ACC to only a 5-4 loss. Not to mention they hung 11 goals on Johnson Wales. So Duke is certainly on the rise. How does that affect the psyche of the Wolfpack?
Well, NC State's going to be coming into this game with some confidence despite the 4 losses because it is, as you said, Duke, who they've beaten for the past 4 years every time that they've come out and played the Blue Devils. So NC State will have some confidence. The good thing about this Blue Devil team, they have a lot of offensive power, not so much on the defensive end, though. They give up a lot of goals, and as Nick Kamara said last week in the postgame, NC State does better in high-scoring games. So I expect the NC State Wolfpack to come out with a lot of confidence, and I think it's going to show very quickly.
It's Pink in the Rink night here in Raleigh. Breast Cancer Awareness Night for the NC State Wolfpack. It'll be the red and white against the Blue Devils right here on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack. A hearty hello and welcome to you live from Raleigh, North Carolina's Iceplex. This is NC State Wolfpack Ice Hockey. I'm Drew Blevins alongside Chris Lehman. Chris, it's been a long time coming since we've seen ACCHL play, and NC State is putting their #1 seeding on the line tonight against the Duke Blue Devils.
Well, Drew, this is a good game for NC State to come back into ACC play. They've been struggling as of late. We talked about it in the pregame. They've lost 4 straight. Fortunately for the Wolfpack, all 4 of those games have been outside of conference play, so they will get a chance to redeem themselves tonight against the Duke team that they've had a lot of success against recently.
Starting lineups for the Blue Devils, it'll be Sugden, Grzowski, and Schaefer up front. Barr and Brook back behind on defense. Van Reinbach in net. Fredenberg, Sunda, Cook, Farhat, and Engel for the Wolfpack, and in net for the first time in 337 days, Eric Murbach, the young man who was the EMT for the Wolfpack team up until this point, and he is in net tonight. Duke will come out in the blue uniforms with a white trim. NC State on Breast Cancer Awareness Night is in pink with the traditional red logo up front and the white numericals. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. Sunda brings the puck quickly ahead. A little bouncer goes back behind Van Reinbach. It'll be scooped up and moved quickly ahead. Grzowski lays this one all the way forward. Good defense by the Wolfpack, despite pressure from behind by Brook. NC State will break it out on the far side of the ice. It's Garrett Sunda once again. Brought ahead to Fredenberg. Here he goes. Fredenberg chips it just ahead. Moves it right back toward the front of the net. Angle tip pass toward the front. It'll be corralled by the Blue Devils. Brzezowski skating this one back up for Kevin Brook. He fires it all the way across to the far side wing, and Duke will dump it in. Murbach gets his first touch of the puck, sending it right along for NC State, and they'll look up ice. Quickly laid forward onto the stick of Mitchell Gallagher. Here he goes. Gallagher shoots one high on Van Reinbach. The save. The rebound is loose. Right through the goal crease and picked right back up by the Blue Devils, who can muster all they can just to ice the puck, and that'll give us our first whistle of the game. And a chance to look at the starting goaltenders, Chris. It'll be Andre Van Reinbach against Eric Murbach.
Well, it'll be very interesting tonight, Drew. Van Reinbach, a very solid goaltender for the Duke Blue Devils. He's not going to give up many easy goals, but the really interesting story is Eric Murbach in net for NC State. As you said, it's been a while since he's played, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles himself when he finally gets some shots.
Shot curled toward the direction of the net by Gallagher, and he's got it back behind toward the front of the net. Van Reinbach and the save, the rebound, and get it again. Good work by Andre Van Reinbach in the early going, and Duke keeps it scoreless. Up to the point, State walks it back down low. Hard angle shot, rebound loose through the goal mouth. Scoop back out. Long shot from Panzel, rebound, swept that. Somehow Van Reinbach got a piece of it, along with his core defenders to help keep that one out, and Duke has to ice it again. And Chris, now you're seeing why Van Reinbach has a .904 save percentage and a goals against average of only 4 per game, which is pretty good for ACCHL play.
Absolutely. He's been very good. He's stood tall when he's needed to, and a couple of times when he's had to scramble, he scrambled and made the save. But I'm very happy with the way this NC State team is playing right now. They look completely different from the last 4 games. They're coming out, they're attacking. One of the things that Coach Gazzillo said is they want to get shots, and that is what they are doing.
Long shot through traffic, deflects wide as Bieberdorf corrals it in the corner. Double teamed by a core of Duke Blue Devils. It'll be moved up on the sideboards before being kicked back into the slot, and Duke will clear it out to the safety of neutral ice. Curling with it is Bly, sending that one back up to Bieberdorf. He'll work on the near side wing, quickly moving it in front toward the goal. Scooped right back up, and away go the Blue Devils. Up through the zone, this will be chipped in off the stick of Kevin Brook as he goes to chase it down. State corrals it. Away they go, skated quickly up and forward. Bieberdorf through the zone, dekes out wide, has to curl a little further than he would have liked. Shot blocked off, and back comes Duke. Good attempt to get it out by Nate Sizemore, but he couldn't finish the job. Back to the core of defense, Barr will take it ahead. Ellis Barr skating it quickly through the zone to the defenseman leading the rush, curling his way in, shooting one, good stop by Murbach. Kicked back up toward the point, held by Duke. All the way back down to one of the co-captains, Tom Stryker, feeding it D to D, and State will break it out. Straight back up through neutral ice, good poke check. NC State has it, quickly bringing it across the line, curling with it, Heyman to Stryker, fans on the one-timer. Back up through the zone, it's Brook, got a little bit of room, Stryker gets a clean in with him! That's a huge hit from Tom Stryker, and that'll inject some energy. Right back up through neutral ice. Carried through the zone by Aud, lost the puck momentarily, has a little bit of support from his safety valve back behind. Duke bringing it back ahead once again, trying to get it around the monster Mackie Heyman. Right up on the kick plate, Duke wins the battle only momentarily. Kick back out, Heyman's the first to the puck, skating it across the blue line, curls it back, intended to go for Aud, but he lost it. Here comes Duke, working his way through slashes, was Muzak, right back behind Murbach, and he's finally able to corral it. Neswick right there on the doorstep. And that was a scary moment right there. NC State got caught back on their heels. Good work by Neswick to move his way forward.
Well, and Murbach looks a little bit shaky right now, and of course, he hasn't played in a game for a long time, so that's what you expect to see. He didn't know where the puck was there. On the first shot he saw, it looked a little shaky. I think, though, he'll look a lot better as this game continues.
It'll be Sunder to corral it in the corner, finding Fredenberg on the near side. He'll fly this one all the way across, stretch play. Angle beat his defender, but lost the puck in the process. Right back through neutral ice, dumped in by Duke. Murbach will trap it up in his catching mitt, and he'll hang on as there's a little scuffle involving Albert Antar. And it's interesting, Antar is listed as one of the backup goaltenders on this team, but according to the ACCHL website, he's also played out at Skaters, so he's a dual threat.
Yeah, and you can see there, Andrew Cook was not happy with the spray he put on Murbach there. And as a goalie, you would expect him to know that. I'm a little bit surprised to see him do that.
Sunda loses the puck. Duke tried to hold it at the blue line. Good move by Fredenberg to move it back up ahead. Beats Brook. Fredenberg in on a 2-on-1. Working out wide. Pass across. Engel lost an edge and therefore lost the puck. It was a great opportunity for NC State, but they squandered it.
That puck needed to go on net, Drew. There was no Engel for the pass. Fredenberg had to look for the rebound to give to Engel.
Right back up through neutral ice. Engel 9-irons it into the zone. Corralled back behind by Cahill. Trying to break it out. Thwarted at the blue line by Sunda. The Blue Devils were able to chip it back out to the safety of neutral ice. And NC State will try to jump it back in. Move straight back up. Good stretch play. That pass was intended to go all the way forward for Neswick once again, but it just ran too far. And the Blue Devils coaching staff are lobbying that icing was miscalled, as it certainly looked like Neswick was ahead of the play. Very close.
Excuse me, he was, Drew, but it's a tough call there, whether or not that's icing or not. Clearly, the linesman thought it was. NC State needs to be careful, though. Those stretch plays can be dangerous.
Sent all the way back up, a bouncing puck, taken all the way back. Duke dumping it into the zone. Murbach directing traffic from his goal crease. It'll be Heyman to field it. Drops it back. NC State will work on the near side before moving it back. Quick D-to-D pass. Bly finds Heyman, chipped along for Gallagher now. Mitchell Gallagher skates it all the way across the blue line, deking his way in, has the puck and lost it to the last defender. It's poked away by Berglund. Duke holding the puck now in the corner. They'll reverse field. All the way over. Galindez will go over to try to find it. Going to have to receive a little bit of help from his safety valve, which is Berglund once again. Peter Galindez moving that one up. A bouncing puck hopped over the stick of Neswick once again. And it'll be taken by the Wolfpack. Sam Banashevitz, team leader in goals. Toe drags around his man, Banashevitz, with a puck on a string. Moves it in front. Good stop by Van Reinbach. Right back toward the front of the net. Banashevitz trying to hold on to it. Everybody getting a whack at it. Van Reinbach denies him every time. And again, Andre Van Reinbach holding down the fort for Duke. And he'll melt it down once again. What a great job by the Mighty Mouse in net.
Absolutely, Drew. And again, you're seeing Van Reinbach do a great job. He goes down to cover the bottom of the net, but he keeps his upper body tall to cover as much of that net as possible. And he did a great job finding the puck. He's got great eyes, and NC State's going to have to get a lot of traffic in front if they want to beat him.
Long shot from the point, tipped and curled all the way back out. Stryker dumps it in almost immediately, but it grazes off of the meshing and goes out of play, so the face-off will stay out of neutral ice. And Chris, as you mentioned, really it has been a great start for NC State as they've amassed so many shots on net. But Van Reinbach's just been there every time.
Absolutely, and NC State's got a lot of energy right now. It's something we haven't seen quite as much in their last few games, but it's good to see. The two things that they want to focus on is getting a lot of shots on net and continuing to get the turnover number down. And that's exactly what they've done so far. Bieberdorf's dump in wasn't quite a shot on goal, but Van Reinbach comes out to catch it anyway, and he'll force another whistle. And do you think that's the MO for Duke, is that they just want to make sure that they're getting whistles every time? I don't think that's what you want to do. You never want to have a lot of face-offs in your own end, but certainly if you're Van Reinbach, you do want to cut down on the rebounds. That's one of the ways NC State scores. 13:20 remaining in the period. A backhander goes on to Van Reinbach, and the rebound was in a slot area. Pulled back out, long shot from Odd, blocked on the way through. Taken back by Gallagher, using the long reach to move it back toward the front of the net. Here's a chance, brewing, lifted high up in the air, and a bouncer goes back for Stryker. He'll send it down deep. Duke will try to curl it out, backhanded right along. Stryker intercepts it, working in from the top of the circle, shot! And Van Reinbach holds it in the crest of his sweater, forcing yet another whistle. Those aren't the kind of shots you want if you're NC State. If you're going to shoot from there on a bad angle, you either have to pick a corner and try to find the net or put it on his pads, because you need either a rebound or a goal on that shot. That was not a good shot from Stryker, right into Van Reinbach's gut. I think he was looking for traffic to get more toward the front of the net, and the play just didn't evolve that way. A bouncer goes all the way back down toward Murbach's end. Icing's waved off as Galindez wins the race. Into the near side corner now. Galindez doing yeoman's work, taking on three Wolfpackers.
Neswick back behind the net, curling around the outside. Moves it along the perimeter. Neswick nearly had another pass get to him that was blocked off. Moved over on the side now as Barr will skate it ahead. Throws that one up. Murbach fields it on his backhand, and he's going to opt to wisely cover up as Galindez was providing a little too much pressure for comfort.
And NC State's energy really has gone down. I think Duke did exactly what they needed to start the game. You knew NC State coming back into league play and off of 4 losses was going to come out with a lot of energy. Duke has weathered the storm. Now is their chance to get some pucks on net and try to find the back of the net and give themselves the lead.
State breaking it out. It'll be Fredenberg trying on the backhand. Neswick cut him off, but only for a moment. Sunda was able to forge it back ahead. Duke flips it back out to neutral ice. Move back up. Be corralled by Farhat. He'll look up ice. Dumped in by Engelplot. Neswick, second on his team with 10 goals, working his way through the zone. Shoots one. Easy stop for Murbach. State will take this one, slap back out. Fredenberg sidesteps his man, and he goes. Fredenberg dropping it back for Sunda. He'll have to curl on a dime and lost the puck. The Blue Devils sending that one back off the blue line. And it'll be corralled by the defense. Cook moving that one ahead for Engel now. He'll work his way in. Quick slap shot. Missed the net wide on the outside. Held by Fard at the blue line, trying to dump it in. It was too weak. And Duke flies it back out. Cook will corral it. Hard off the kick plate, and a little bouncer goes back to the Duke defensive line. The Blue Devils will hold it. Skated straight back up. Bounced off the stick of Engel. Trying to get a pass. Intercepted. And it'll be corralled once again. Moved up by Thomas Cahill. Hill skated through the zone with a little help from Sugden. Dumps it all the way in. Chased down by Antar. In neutral ice, the Blue Devils will hold it on the stick at number 19, Ben Berger. Held by Cahill as he tries to bring it all the way back in. The dump in will be waved. Icing is winning the race with Sizemore. Back behind the net. The Blue Devils have sustained now their longest offensive possession. Long shot through traffic. Murbach save, and the rebound will be picked right back up by Cook. Back behind the net he works. Banishevitz moves around one of the players who was shucked off by Cook. Banishevitz quickly through the zone. Heyman buries his head, working his way through. Shot onto Van Reinbach, and he's got it on his catching side shoulder. And yet another stop to his resume.
Well, NC State's doing what they want to. They're getting shots to the net, but they're not good shots right now. They're coming from the outside. The only shots that they've really gotten in near the slot area are those ones during the scrambles. They need to start finding a way to get the puck to the slot and get quality shots, because everything right now is coming from the outside, and it's easily handled by Van Reinbach. The way NC State scores most of the time is off of rebounds, and they're not getting those right now.
Drop back, Panzel sends a shot, a bouncer, wakes its way to the net, Van Reinbach dives to make the save, the rebound, Heyman smacking at it, and it glides harmlessly back behind the goal. Van Reinbach somehow is keeping hold of a shutout. Held by the Blue Devils, cleared, but only to the blue line as Panzel dumps it back in. Duke will hold it, wrapped around on the boards as we're halfway through this first period. NC State 0, Duke 0. Mackie Heyman has it on the sideboards, lost the puck as he was pickpocketed. Worked over on the side for Scott Ralston, trying to bring it out. NC State intercepts him. Up at the point now, Heyman, long wrist shot through traffic and wide. Bounce right back in front, they scored! It'll be Mackie Heyman's goal as it hit off the inboards, bounced on the backside of Van Reinbach, and went in the net. And sometimes you just have to make your own luck, and right there, that's exactly what the Wolfpack did.
Yeah, and it was coming. You knew it was coming, and that's really the only way right now that NC State can beat Van Reinbach is on a shot like that. But I have to say, the pass from Banishevitz is what did it. Great vision. He had a chance where he might have gotten a shot off, but he recognizes that Mackie Heyman is in a better position to take that shot. He gives it to him, and there's the goal.
So it's a very fortuitous bounce on a fluky goal that gives Mackie Heyman the tally, and NC State is up 1-0. Bieberdorf wins the drawback. Tom Stryker moving across to take it. Backhands it ahead for Bieberdorf. He'll skate it all the way down low, penetrating toward the net. Tried to deke his way in front, but lost it. Up at the point, slap shot through traffic, blocked. Duke still having all sorts of trouble getting it out of the zone. Down low to Bieberdorf, right back in front. And a bouncing puck will be corralled once again by NC State. Move low by Chris Wing. The Wolfpack forging their way back toward the front of the net. Wing holding at the point, sidesteps his man and dumps it low once again. Curling with it, Kristoff is on the side, one-timer! And fanning on it was a good chance from Reed Farad. Drop back along once again, Kristoff after it. Taken back behind the net by the freshman, Kristoff. Shucks off a body check, still being pinned. Bieberdorf was calling for it in front, but nobody can get it to him. Now he'll go back playing some help. Galindez can't quite clear. Wing stepping down low on the goal line. Right in front, one-timer, they scored! Right in front, it'll be Matt Oakley who has the tally, and NC State's up by a deuce.
And this was coming. NC State has dominated this game. It's only 2-0, but the way NC State's playing, it should already be 4 or 5-0. They're finally getting those quality shots that we were talking about, and they're finding the back of the net. NC State looks very, very good right now, Drew.
The enigma of Andre Van Reinbach seems to have been solved. He stopped the Wolfpack's first 14 shots, but since then, he's given up 2 goals on 3 shots. And Duke right now is stuck in a rut. Finally, they win a face-off. Skated right back ahead by Bach. Stopping on the half wall, shot wide of Murbach. This will roll back up on the boards, held in by Schaefer. Right by Farad, it'll be picked up on the sideboards by Taylor. Duke loses the puck once again. NC State will have it back behind their goaltender. Farad looking up ice, opts to skate it for himself. Bringing it into the zone. Dumping it in, it'll be chased down into the corner by Blue. Cycling his way up toward the point, leaving it back. Odd, chasing it down. This will be skated back up. Cook holding the line. Avoids 3 Duke players. Worked to the side, shot! And that hits something on the way through. It'll be skated right back out. Neswick bringing it through the zone, sidesteps his number opposite, buries his head, trying to forge the puck ahead, pickpocketed by Blue. It'll be skated up by the Wolfpack. Sam Banashevitz holding the puck, working out wide, toe drags, this one going high off of the skate, and we'll have our first penalty of the game from back behind. It'll be assessed to the Blue Devils.
And that's going to be a hooking call. Good call there from the referee. Banashevitz got position on his defenseman, and he got hooked. It looks like it's going to be number 11, Thomas Cahill, who will go to the box. A good call. This will be a great chance for NC State to put another one in the back of the net.
The penalty is going to go to Cahill with 7:29 remaining in this first period, and NC State can go up a field goal. The potent Garrett Sunderline will be out there. Mackie Heyman acting as a 4th forward back on defense, and he has the puck off the draw. Moves it across. Snap wrister sizzles wide. Moved down low by Engel, worked right back in front on the stick of Fredenberg, and he couldn't get the shot off in time. Heyman playing pitch and catch, long shot through traffic by Cook. Sunda picking it up, curls to the slot, shot goes wide, rebound opportunity, curl back toward the front of the net, there was nobody home. It'll be the Blue Devils to skate it back up and ahead. Sugden working his way out wide with the puck. He'll just kill some time by dumping it in on his backhand. Carried back ahead, Sunda fires this one all the way across the ice as Fredenberg gets a couple of steps ahead. He'll set it up. Fredenberg curling. Works over to the far side half wall. Dumping it back down low. Picked up onto the stick of Engel, who flies it back for Fredenberg. Curling with it. He'll stop and pop, taking a look for a second. Trading places with Engel. Up in the high slot, shooting one, the rebound. Bounces back into the corner where Fredenberg will pick it up. Back behind the net, all 3 Wolfpack forwards are down there. Fredenberg on the wraparound opportunity, trying to create the rebound, the puck is loose! And Duke will clear this one. No, it was blocked on the way through. They had all sorts of daylight to fly that one ahead, and they missed it. Right back toward the front of the net, Sunda was looking for the pass, and this time Duke finishes the job.
NC State, a great power play thus far. They need to find the net, though.
Haven sends a slap shot, and if it had been football, he would have had 3 points. But as it stands, he missed the net by a good 10 feet high.
This has been a great power play thus far for NC State, and they still have 27 seconds left on the man advantage. They've got some great chances in front. They've gotten the puck there. They just haven't quite been able to get a great shot off. And partially that's due to the Blue Devils doing a great job clearing out in front, giving Van Reinbach room, and not allowing NC State to get those shots when they get the puck there.
Bly moves it for his defense partner. Shot through traffic. Van Reinbach waffle boards it into the corner once again. State curls it down low. Another opportunity. Bly working, shooting one off the crossbar. And it sails out of play. Sean Bly looks to the rafters. He was robbed as the iron was unkind, but he had the corner picked right there, Chris.
It's being signaled that the faceoff will stay in the end. I think it hit the glove of Van Reinbach. He did a great job. Excellent chance there for NC State.
11 seconds left on the power play. Bly gets it off the draw. Moves it across once again. The shot goes wide. Banashevitz picking it up, dropping it back for Bly. Fakes the slap shot, moves it across the blue line once again. All the way across. Banashevitz shooting one through traffic. They scored! Sam Banashevitz puts NC State up by 3, and the Wolfpack are running away with this one.
And this was coming. NC State has been just pounding Van Reinbach thus far, and there's not much that he can do on a cross-ice pass like that. He's moving across, and Banashevitz found the hole.
And as is tradition after every goal, the Wolfpack will skate by and tap the easy button, and then they'll come right back to the face-off circle, and they are operating at machine-like quality right now. The system is working.
And one of the things, Drew, that NC State is doing a great job of right now that we haven't seen them do recently is control the neutral zone. If you control the neutral zone, you can control a game, and that's exactly what NC State's doing right now. In the past, they've turned the puck over a lot, trying to break out, and they have not been able to maintain possession going through the neutral zone. They've been doing that tonight, and it's showing in the score.
Bieberdorf loses the puck for the first time this game. Duke is only able to get it out to the red line, something that they hadn't been able to do much throughout the entirety of this still young contest. Moved all the way across, intended for Antar. This will be moved across the way. Here comes Duke. Sugden's shot missed the net wide. Tom Stryker fields it back behind his own net, nearly stolen away. Kristoff is there to pick it right back up, though. The young freshman flies this one back out to the safety of the neutral zone. Picked up by the Blue Devils. They'll play pitch and catch back on their own blue line, moved all the way forward, and this is going to be icing against Duke with 4:32 remaining in the period. So another face-off down low for NC State.
Well, Drew, we've already seen a lot of icings out of the Blue Devils tonight, and I think you're going to continue to see a lot of them because of what we just talked about. NC State's controlling the neutral zone. Duke needs to find a way to get the puck through the neutral zone as fast as possible, and that's the best way right now, and they're really struggling with that.
Through traffic, this will be backhanded toward the slot area. Duke sweeps it away. Here come the Blue Devils on the stick of Kevin Brook. Ducking his head down low, Brook driving himself toward the goal, wrapping it around. Up at the point, held by Cahill, slap shot through traffic, blocked. NC State will have it once again in neutral ice, 3-on-2 defensively. Heyman waiting for numbers to get back in his direction, and he'll move it back. Chris Wing holding the puck. Moves it up for Thomas Owen. Through the zone, Duke intercepts NC State, and it'll be sent back. Tom Stryker holding the puck, looking back up ice. Heyman chips it in on his backhand, and the bouncer will make it back to the goal line. Duke has it. Berglund trying to move it up. Intercepted. Odd chipping it down low for Danny Blue. He'll work wide now. Blue trying to set things up. Finds his man low. Heyman back in front. Blue shot blocked on the way through. Great defensive positioning by Anthony Berglund, and he may have saved another goal right there with a shot block.
Yeah, it was a great play by Berglund, but an even better job by Mackie Heyman. Van Reinbach had no chance of stopping that puck if it was on net unless it was going to hit him because he could not see anything. Great job by Heyman to get traffic in front.
Duke trying to jump it all the way back out. It didn't make it past the blue line on the initial try, but they are able to get it at least far enough out of the zone to get a quick line change and a breather for some players who desperately need it. Moved all the way back, chipped in by Engel. Fredenberg will go back to get it. In the corner now. Fredenberg cycling toward the front of the net, intended for Sun to cut off by Neswick. Into the corner it goes. Neswick couldn't catch up to it. hacking the puck away. Fredenberg cutting it off, but he lost it. Up top, Reed Farhat holding. Dumping it back down low. It eludes the stick of Thomas Cahill. Worked on the sideboards now. Here come the Blue Devils. Neswick trying to muscle his way through. Lost it. Carried back in. Here's Sunda with some room. And he was thwarted by the last man on the blue line, which was Peter Auld. Move back down low. NC State holding the puck and moving it up to the point. Panzel for the Wolfpack. Chipping it back down low. Toward the slot. Fredenberg defers for Sunda now. He'll give it right back for Sunda. Moved along in the corner. Engel coming in to break things up. Moves the puck to the point. Tip shot on the way through. Missed the net wide. Corralled by the Wolfpack once again. A bouncing puck finally corralled by the Blue Devils. This one comes all the way back out. Andrew Cook holding the puck with under 2 minutes remaining in the period. Moving it forward. Engel pushed from behind. Right on the sideboards. Conglomeration of players. State pulls it free. Panzel chipping it over to the side. Long slap shot. Van Reinbach makes a save. The rebound chipped wide. Van Reinbach got a leg pad to it. Up at the point now. Mackie Heyman. Long slap shot through traffic. Hit off the goalpost and goes out of play. I'm not sure. NC State had a couple players right in front. Banashevitz may have tipped that one, but Mackie Heyman hit an absolute rocket and nearly made it 4-0 for the Pack.
NC State right now is continuing to get better, even though it doesn't look like it's possible. They have a few different focuses that they want in this game: traffic, turnovers, and shots. And you see each of them coming into play, and you see them starting to develop all of their offensive weapons.
An offside will be called. Nope, we're going to see a penalty instead. It's going to be a holding call, and it's going to go against Sam Banashevitz, so it's going to be a Duke power play. And this may be the only positive they can take out of this first period, because quite honestly, they have been outplayed in every facet of the game.
And this will be important for NC State. They clearly have more skill than this Blue Devil team. They're going to have to kill this penalty. There's 1:19 left in the period. It's a 2-minute penalty, so they'll be on the kill for the rest of the period unless they give up a goal, and you don't want to give up a goal this late.
And it's a good test for Murbach to make sure he's keeping his head in the game. He's only faced 5 shots, none of them difficult. And good work by NC State right off the face-off to kill some time. Duke trying to attack up the middle with a minute remaining in the period. NC State will have none of it as Bly kills time. Moves it up. Blue finishes the job, sending it all the way back down to Andre Van Reinbach. The Blue Devils will have to go 200 feet. Looking up ice. The pass comes over on the side for Ellis Barr. He'll set up on the sidewall. Moving it across. Through traffic shot. Good stop by Murbach. Flopping around with 30 seconds remaining in the period. Barr moving down low. Schaefer with the puck on a string, moving it back. Schaefer down low once more. Trying to get into the slot area. Attacking was Brook, but he couldn't catch up to the pass, and NC State will send it all the way back down. Won't quite do it for the end of the first period. It'll be skated right back up. Quickly ahead, the Blue Devils may have one last opportunity on the attack. They'll just dump it in. Fielded by Panzel, and he'll rip it down the ice, and that will do it for the period. Van Reinbach will set it on a tee as the clock will wind down to 0, and NC State seems to have shaken off the woes of out-of-conference play as they have come back into the ACCHL, and after one period, they lead the Duke Blue Devils by a count of 3-0.
Well, Drew, one of the things that I like to compare this to, or this streak that NC State has had of losing, they've played some very good teams. It's like swinging a baseball bat with a donut on it. They've taken the donut off, and you're seeing them swing away right now, and it's working out pretty well.
And as they swing away, they are continuing to crush home runs, constantly outplaying Duke in every facet of the game. We'll see if the pattern holds throughout the remaining 40 minutes of play. Stay tuned for the first intermission report. You're watching NC State Wolfpack Ice Hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the Pack. Welcome back inside Raleigh's Iceplex. Drew Blevins alongside Chris Lehman. This is the first intermission. Right now, NC State holding a 3-0 lead over the Duke Blue Devils. But before we get into that, you're probably wondering, why in the world is the play-by-play broadcaster wearing a pink uniform? This is actually what NC State is wearing on ice tonight, supporting the Breast Cancer Awareness Fund that the Wolfpack ice hockey team has, Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and what a great cause it is, and always good to see pink in the REIT games.
Absolutely, and you know, the sorority Zeta Tau Alpha is here as well, doing a lot of stuff to raise money. They're auctioning off a signed Hurricane stick, and all of the proceeds are going towards the Susan G. Komen Fund. So it's great to see that. It's a great cause, and it's a lot of fun as well.
Without a doubt, it's always good to see State doing special events like this. They certainly raked in the crowd. And, of course, we thank NC State for letting us borrow one of these to wear during this intermission report. But back to what's going on the ice, Chris. NC State has come out very strong offensively, but let's focus on the goaltending first. Eric Murbach playing for the first time in 337 days, fielding a shutout right now. Granted, he only saw 5 shots, but he looks pretty sharp so far.
He doesn't look bad. He looked a lot sharper at the end of the period, I would say, Drew. At the beginning, the first couple shots, a little bit shaky, but that's to be expected. It's his first game in a while. So it'll be interesting to see as the game goes on. I don't expect him to face too many more shots, as we've seen in the first period. NC State doing a great job controlling it in the offensive end, but I think he'll do a great job, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him come out with a shutout.
But now, of course, the most glaring thing is the scoreboard. NC State is up by a field goal against Duke. It all started with a fluky goal. Mackie Heyman sends it off the backboards. It hits off of Andre Van Reinbach. Not sure if Sam Banashevitz got a tip afterwards. The scorers are still debating that. But after that, the floodgates open, and NC State just took it to the Blue Devils.
Exactly, and that's what NC State needed to get going. We saw it early, NC State, a lot of momentum. The shots weren't all coming from the right spot, though. They finally started to find that after that goal. They got the momentum. They got even more energy, because we saw when they were having trouble scoring, the energy started to come down. When that goal found the back of the net, you're right, they just took off, and it was no looking back. The score is not an indication of how much NC State is dominating this game. It could be 5, 6, even 7-0 right now.
State totaled 21 shots on net that period. Duke only 5, as the Wolfpack continue their quest to try to send the Devils back to Hades. Second period action on the way. You're watching Wolfpack Sports Television's coverage of NC State ice hockey. Well, it is a fresh sheet of ice and a fresh 20 minutes on the clock here, as NC State has a stranglehold on this one, 3-0 against the Duke Blue Devils. Drew Blevins alongside Chris Lehman as we prepare to commence the second period of action. Chris, does NC State just continue to go all hound dog on the attack here?
I would be surprised if they didn't, Drew, because they've been so dominant. I don't see Duke being able to keep up with this Wolfpack squad. The only chance that the Blue Devils have, to me, is to score in the first 41 seconds on the power play. If they can't do that, I don't see them even getting many chances to score in this period.
The Banashevitz holding penalty, as Chris alluded to, has 41 seconds remaining in its duration. The officials are ready to drop the puck, and we're ready to bring you second period hockey action. It'll be Brook against Heyman, and Mackey wins it back, and NC State will try to kill some time in their own zone first. Quickly slapped all the way back down. State's penalty kill has been more than systematic. It's been almost automatic, Chris.
You're exactly right, and I think part of that is they're up against lesser competition. Not to take anything away from this Duke squad, because they are much improved from the team they were last year, but this is a team NC State knows they can beat, and the confidence is showing.
Duke was able to put a slap shot on net off the stick of Kevin Brook. Waffle boarded up and into the meshing out of play with 12 seconds remaining on the Banashevitz penalty. Face off over to the blocker's side of the goaltender Murbach. And State wins yet another draw, backhanded back out by Mackie Heyman. That should do it for the penalty. Van Reinbach out to play it, sends that one off the glass, and that could spring a Duke rush if they hurry. Out of the box comes Banashevitz. Quickly through the zone is Barr, shooting one, he scored! Ellis Barr rips that one upstairs, ending the Murbach shutout, and the Blue Devils are on the board early in the second.
Well, Drew, I wasn't quite right about the goal coming on the power play, but that's exactly what Duke needed. You have to score early if you want to stay in this game. They just took the air out of the crowd. The crowd's not nearly as loud and rowdy as they were to start this period, and the momentum is now on the Blue Devils' side. They need to continue that, and find the back of the net quickly again, because NC State, now at even strength, has an excellent chance to answer very quickly.
It's an uncharacteristic goal of Eric Murbach to give up when he's playing in his prime, and I'm not so sure if he saw that puck. Sean Bly backed right up into him. He may have been screened by his own man. Fredenberg looking for the answer cross. They scored! Grab your popcorn, sports fans. They're putting on a show. 4-1 for the Wolfpack on the tic-tac-toe play through the slot.
A beautiful and a excellently executed play there by the Wolfpack. A great job answering. It only took 10 seconds. And that's what this team is capable of. The speed, the skill, and the concentration is there right now, and NC State's firing on all cylinders. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to put Duke back in their place, so to speak. Duke got some confidence off that last goal, but NC State doesn't let it last very long.
Garrett Sunda will receive credit for the goal. Fredenberg and Engel will get the assists. And that line remains out there for the Wolfpack. Sunda giving chase to the puck. Hansel gets a shoulder into his man, which was Taylor. NC State holding the puck, moving across the blue line. Pass intercepted. And it was a little too hot to handle for Alec Engel. He ties up his man in the corner. Engel makes a good play on the puck. NC State takes it. Long shot from Bly, patted away by Van Reinbach. The Blue Devils will send that one all the way back down. Looked like it was intended to be a spring pass. Makes its way onto the net, and Murbach will be first to cover.
Smart play there by Murbach to cover that one up. You don't want to give up anything easy. And there was a man coming in very close. I believe it was number 12, Peter Galindez, coming in. Murbach been a little bit shaky, but they're a smart play to cover up, because NC State has done a great job on the faceoffs. They'll likely win this one, and NC State can be off and running.
And you'd be surprised, those faceoffs are so key in these type of hockey games. It allows you to control the first few minutes of play, and State has done that. Move through the zone by Will Bieberdorf. And he goes on his backhand, curling around the net. Bieberdorf holding, move to the point. Striker, a one-timer. Good stop by Van Reinbach. Chip back out into the zone by freshman Chris Wing. Sent all the way back, icing his wave by the far linesman. Striker back behind his net to receive the puck. Backhands this one up ice for Andrew Kristoff. Gives it back. Skated through the zone by Striker, the defenseman leading the rush. Striker on his backhand, shoved off the puck by the last defender there. It was Thomas Cahill, who's had a good blue-collar game thus far. Bieberdorf sends one from the high slot area, easily stopped by Van Reinbach, and he'll pin it up on his sweater. Chris, this NC State attack, I don't think enough can be said about it. They give up a goal in the early going, but they get right back on top of it, and it looks like they never gave up that goal at all, except for the scoreboard change.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Mike Gazzillo expects of this team. They are just that good when it comes to the ACCHL. They are one of the best teams in the league. That's why you see them go to the ACCHL finals just about every year.
Skated all the way back up by Duke. Across the blue line, could be an opportunity. Neswick sent a shot that was blocked off. Back behind, Dan Blue in the corner. Nearly lost the puck. It'll be corralled by the Wolfpack. Right back through the zone. Fredenberg was pickpocketed. Moved quickly back ahead. 3-on-1 for the State. And the pass intended for Blue goes too far for him. Great chance for the Wolfpack to go back up 5-1. The pass just extended too far. Dumped back in by the Wolfpack. It'll be corralled and curled back by Michael Schaefer, who's got it here. Sent off the skate of an attacking Wolfpack player. It was Heyman. This will be just thrown out into the neutral zone sloppily by the Blue Devils. And once again, the Wolfpack will gladly take it. Dumped into the zone off the stick of Thomas Aud. Into the zone, Heyman going in to pick it up. Aud hacking after it. Sent all the way back up. State will have it once again in the clutches of Reed Farad. They'll send that one hard off the boards. Duke holding back at their own blue line. Kicked up and forward. Brook sending that one ahead. NC State once again has the puck. Sent back forward. Banashevitz and Heyman cycling. Brook pushes it back. State dumps it right back in. For Van Reinbach on his backhand, trying to move that one up. And it'll be taken once again by Michael Schaefer, the 6'4 defenseman, and listed as the most sizable player on this Blue Devil roster. State dumping it right back in onto Van Reinbach's chest, and he'll force a whistle with 15:41 remaining in the second period.
NC State still just absolutely controlling this game. This is the game, Drew, that NC State needed. They needed a game where they can come out, stretch their legs, and do everything that they've been practicing. It's better for them to do it that way because it's in a game situation, and it gives them the confidence moving forward to continue to do that and to continue to have success.
It'll be the Wolfpack to hold it, coming from their own blue line. Heyman quickly forward, nearly got sandwiched, somehow held onto the puck, shooting one onto Van Reinbach, who once again makes another save. Maggie Heyman with an incredible individual effort right there, and it nearly paid huge dividends.
And the one thing that Mackie Heyman's struggling with right now is finding his target. Either his shots are right into the gut of Van Reinbach, or they're off to the side and miss the net.
He has 3 goals on the season, which by his standards from last year is underperforming. And only 5 assists as well, but it certainly doesn't deter the fervor with which he plays. Skated right back up by the Wolfpack. They'll try to go 200 feet. Pass will be chased down by Gallagher, lifted high off the mesh and out of play. So Duke will surrender field position, if you will, as the faceoff will stay down on Van Reinbach's end.
Oh, and you're continuing to see NC State do an excellent job in the neutral zone, Drew. They're doing a great job just not giving the passing lanes to Duke, and that's one of the things they were struggling with. Teams like Virginia Tech and Liberty and Miami were knifing through the neutral zone. They found a lot of lanes and got through very quickly. NC State has closed up those lanes tonight, and that's why you see them controlling this game.
Kick back, one-timer off the draw, snagged by Van Reinbach almost immediately. It was a great play right off the face-off as Engel took 2 steps behind Sunda and one-timed it. Trying again, slap shot, sizzles high. Great opportunity for Engel twice, and he just couldn't find the target. Back behind the net now, NC State has it, curling toward the front. Good stick lift on the way through. Best defensive play by Scott Rolston easily. Skated all the way back ahead by Michael Schaefer. Corralled by the Wolfpack, back in their own zone. It'll be Alec Engel now. Steps forward and dumps it in. Curled right back by Barr, who has the lone goal for the Blue Devils. NC State will hold it in neutral territory. Up ahead, Bly, long wrist shot, waffle boarded into the corner. Sunda picking it up, skating it toward the corner. He's rubbed out, good hit on the way through. Once again, it was Barr. Kevin Brook sidesteps the man, but lost the puck. 3-on-2 for the Pack. Fredenberg lost it. Sunda, a bouncer right into Van Reinbach, who pokes it away. And Duke will slide it all the way back down. If it reaches the goal line, it's icing, which it does. No rest for the weary Duke.
I'll tell you, Drew, though, I think they snuck some guys on the ice there, Duke did. You see the referee over there trying to get the guys back on the ice. I'm not sure if he knows who they are.
13:58 remaining in the second period. NC State 4, Duke 1. And the Blue Devils have to make sure that they have that entire unit who was just out there back on the ice. Bieberdorf wins the draw. Kristoff had to beat the official, somehow keeps the puck in. The speedy freshman pokes the puck low for Bieberdorf. They'll work on the perimeter. Now move to the front. One-timer, Van Reinbach. Little help from the defense, and it was blocked off. Taken on the way through, curled back down low. Good stick work by Oakley. They'll set up in the slot area, looking for the pass. Bieberdorf tried to hit him. Instead, floated back out to Chris Wing. On the sideboards now, skated back in. Kristoff leaves it for Bieberdorf, and he's going to be thwarted right there. Another good stick by Rolston. Duke still cannot get a line change. State holding the puck down low. Bieberdorf curling into the slot on the backhand shot. Stop Van Reinbach. The rebound. Duke finally has it. Up at the blue line. They're going to get it out. NC State holding it, bringing it right back ahead. Finally chipped forward. If it goes for icing, they still can't get the men off. And it'll come all the way back down. And the Blue Devils were able to get at least one set of fresh legs out there. And you gotta wonder, does this Blue Devil coaching staff think about using the timeout here? This is working on a 2-minute plus shift.
I'm not sure yet. Certainly a thought has to have popped into his head to do so, to Coach Brent Selman had to have thought about it, but clearly he decided not to. It is a 4-1 game, and I think he does understand that NC State will continue to control this game regardless of who is on the ice. So I think that's why he elected to hold on to that.
Here comes Duke with an opportunity. Skated right in. What a move on the way through. It was a great individual effort by Michael Schaefer once again, and he seems to be omnipresent for the Blue Devils. Sidestepping move by Engel. He works in across the way of the backhand. Shoveled up to Van Reinbach, who catches it in his chest again. And has this Duke goaltender proved to be something else or what?
It's a great play there by Van Reinbach to get post to post, but not a great shot there from NC State. Received it on his backhand. I believe that was odd, and he couldn't really get it elevated. If he gets that up, he might be able to get it over the shoulder of Andre Van Reinbach.
Taken back behind the net, Reinbach. Poke checks it away, and the Blue Devils will skate it ahead. Right back up through neutral ice. Carried forward once again by Schaefer, trying to drop it back. Brook poking it back down low. Kevin Brook's going to win the foot race. Peeling off into the corner, leaves it for Schaefer toward the front of the net, blocked off. Schaefer trying to curl it back toward the front. It'll be picked back up by NC State. Far eye. It's the last man in. He'll backhand this one ahead, starting the breakout. Blue working all the way to the outside. This will just be dumped in. Quick line change for the Pack. Behind the net. Poked all the way forward. And this will roll on far out all the way back down to his defensive end. Sean Bly up for Mackie Heyman now. On his backhand, poking that one ahead. And it went off his backhand and out of play. The faceoff will stay in neutral ice.
You continue to see, Drew, Duke try to get these stretch passes working, and it just isn't. NC State is completely controlling the neutral zone, not allowing anything through, and you're seeing a lot of icings on the part of Duke. That's why you see that 2-minute shift, because the only way they can get the puck out is to look for long stretch passes or to clear it. This is a great job by NC State tonight.
Well, I think the other thing that's noticeable is just the way the Liberty Flames control the game against NC State, so NC State is comparably doing here against Duke. Into the corner it goes. Curled back toward the front of the net. Up at the point now. Letting it go. Panzo rips one wide. Back toward the front of the net. A bouncer. Corralled by the Blue Devils. Banked out just past the blue line. Bly has to send that one across the way. Here come the Pack again. Mackie Heyman receiving the pass. Sends a shot. And that was tipped out of play with 11:04 remaining in this second period.
And Drew, you can see Mackie Heyman a little bit frustrated. You see him lift his head up and look toward the ceiling as he missed that shot again. He clearly wants a goal. He wants to find the back of the net. A lot of shots. He needs to try and find another way, though. He's taking a lot of outside shots. He got lucky with the first one that came off the glass and took a funny bounce, but he needs to work to find other ways to find the net.
Duke off the draw, bringing this one ahead. Kevin Brook. We've called his name a lot. Working his way in. Poke check by Bly. Brook getting down low and into the corner. Finds it. Moving it over to the side toward the front of the net. Cut off by Murbach. Skated back by the Wolfpack. Through the zone, here they come. Fredenberg lost the puck off of his stick. Brook tried to move it back in transition. Down low it goes. Alec Engel will chase it. He's going to be pressured by Shaver, who wins the battle. Lost the puck toward the front of the net. Hacked out once, twice, and now it's covered up by Van Reinbach, who continues to be the clotting for the proverbial bleeding that Duke is suffering right now.
Well, and NC State just can't quite find the puck when it gets into those little skirmishes in front. It's loose in skates. Van Reinbach, a great job getting down low where he can see it, and then he grabs onto it. Excellent job there by the goaltender.
Bieberdorf will be the one to take the draw for NC State. Presumably, he will draw against Neswick. And being forced to come back onto the ice is Ben Taylor. One back by the Wolfpack. Up top, Bly. Long wrist shot through traffic. Rebound loose. Great stick lift by Neswick. And he most certainly saved a goal right there. Back behind the net. Duke curling with the puck. Pressure to pass it was Cahill. Working over for Galindez on the far side. NC State once again intercepts it. Pinned up against the boards. Duke trying to find a way to fly it out of the zone. And if the glass had been a little bit taller, they would have been able to succeed. But as it stands, they threw it out of play. Face-off stays down low. Another draw is won by NC State. Kristoff buries his head, going after the puck. Bieberdorf pulling it away in the corner, trying to work it back down low. Holding on his stick, backhands it across, one-timer through traffic, tipped wide. Kristoff got a stick to it, and he deflected it just off the side of the netting. Taken back down low, Bieberdorf pushing through, backhander off the crossbar, he thought he scored. And it looked like for a moment that hit off the back bar and came out, but the official had the better angle and it went off the crossbar. Taken back by Duke. One-on-one. Neswick bringing it ahead. He had one player back with him. Trailing was Peter Galindez, but he couldn't find a way to get the puck to him. Dropped back. Taken right back behind the cage by the Wolfpack. Poked forward. Kristoff chugging after it. He's got one man to beat. Kristoff bearing his head forward. Bieberdorf was calling for the pass and he couldn't find his man. Bieberdorf winning it back behind the net now. Double teamed. He still comes out with a puck. Wing winds up, fires. Great stop by Van Reinbach. Doing the splits. He snatches it out of midair. But I tell you, Chris Wing, he's a freshman, gets a lot of wood on that one-timer. He's showing a lot of promise for this organization.
Absolutely, Drew. And, he doesn't get that shot if it's not for the work of Will Bieberdorf. A great job by Bieberdorf to hold the puck down low, allow his team to get a change, and then find a way to get it back to the point to Wing.
Taken down low by the Wolfpack once again. Curling with it, it'll be dropped back. Sunda picking up the puck. He had Blue calling for it. Instead, opts to work on the sideboards for Aud. Up at the point now. Poked back low for Aud. Curls it right back down low. Sunda finally reversing field into open space. Toward the front of the net. Aud got a whack at it. Sunda, rebound opportunity. And he sent it wide. Picked up and skated ahead by Barr. Sends that one hard off the boards, but Wings right there and neutralized to pick it up. Double timing it up ice for Sunda now. He'll stop. Pop. Lost the puck. Double team. Sunda finds it again on his backhand. Toward the front of the net. Swatted at, but fanning on the play was Aud. Down low once again. Barr intercepting it for Duke. Sending that one right back up into the safety of neutral ice, but Wings there again. Moving it ahead. Aud. 3-on-1. Dropping it back. Heyman looking. Shooting one. Oh, what a save by Van Reinbach. Does the windmill. Call the Raleigh Police Department. Highway robbery on the part of the Duke netminder.
Good play there, though, by Mackie Heyman. As you said, Drew, a great save there from Andre Van Reinbach. A good shot there from Mackie Heyman. May have had a chance to find his man on the back post, but there's a defender in the way. Smart decision to take the shot.
Sent back down low off the draw. Heyman picking it up, curling with it, driving toward the net, sends it down low for Gallagher. Mitchell Gallagher recently won the ACC Player of the Year award toward the front of the net. Heyman knocked down as he got the shot off. Had he been able to get full wood there, he might would have scored, but Van Reinbach covers it up once again. Upstairs here, we have a shot chart going for both teams. Duke has a grand total of 4 this period. NC State, a plethora of shots, and they're all coming from right in the slot area. And I just think that speaks to the genius of Andre Van Reinbach right now.
When you also have to compare the NC State shot chart to their first period shot chart, where the shots were much more spread out. They're doing a better job this period getting the puck to the slot, getting it around the net, and then getting their shots.
Taking it right back down low. Kevin Brook lets it go. This will be poked all the way up and forward. Quick D-to-D pass by Farhat. Banashevitz, the recipient of a good pass, but he lost it at the blue line. Retreating back to find it. Lost it through Mackie Heyman's skates. It'll come over and onto the near side boards. Lifted into the zone, and a bouncer goes right back behind Murbach. Farhat curling with it, settles it, nearly lost it on the way through. Grozowski was the one to make the play, sending that one back up to the point. NC State right back up through the zone, intercepted. Schaefer skating it across the blue line, working wide, sends a shot toward the net. Murbach with a glove save of his own, and he'll melt it down for a whistle.
A good play there again by Murbach. We talked about some of the decisions he's made. Another good one there to glove that puck and hold on to it. If he tries to make a save with the shoulder or anything else, or tries to put the puck in play, he risks putting it right on the stick of a Duke player. There were plenty of them standing around the net. Good job there to hold on to it.
Flown back out to the blue line. Good job by the Blue Devils to hold it in. NC State on the second effort corrals the puck on the stick of Engel. Worked out wide now. Wolfpack, cross-ice pass. Garrett Sunda has it, shakes off a body check. A little bit of support coming. Engel making the play up at the blue line. Sunda holding the puck, and he's going to be whistled offside by the back linesman. The faceoff will come back outside the state attacking zone. 5:59 remaining in the second period, Chris. And I really can't describe it properly except for Duke just looks gassed.
Yeah, and you're starting to run out of words to describe this NC State effort because they continue to put it on. And you look at the benches, NC State's bench is full. Duke's bench, 60 to 70% full. NC State, a lot more bodies, and that's why you see a lot more energy.
As Murbach covers up, the faceoff will be in the Duke attacking end for only the third time this period. But you got to appreciate what the Blue Devils are doing. I mean, formerly they were the premier team, winning a couple of ACCHL titles. And then all of a sudden they just fell off the map as of recently. But looking at them, it's not that they're a bad team. It's just that State is faster and thus controlling the tempo.
Yeah, and that's the thing. NC State's speed really helps them dictate the pace of games. And that's why you see them win a lot of these league games, because they are one of the fastest teams in this league.
They'll skate it back up through the zone. Taken right back off of a skate. State fighting after it, and they're going to be called offside. Sunda couldn't tag up in time as Fredenberg came across the blue line.
Well, some great stick work and footwork from Fredenberg there. He just wasn't paying attention to where Garrett Sunda was, and that's why you see the offsides.
So the face-off coming just outside of the State attacking blue line. 4-1, the Wolfpack lead the Blue Devils, and it could easily be 14-1 if not for the brilliant play of Andre van Reinbach. Dumped right back in. The Blue Devils goaltender will set it on a tee. Move back behind. Berglund is trying to skate it up. Forwarded up at the blue line. Good stick by Bly. Skated back down by Kristoff. Working back behind the net. Toward the front. Shooting one. Van Reinbach once again. Right there on the doorstep was Bieberdorf. Van Reinbach would have none of it.
NC State, though, a great job. They're planting someone in front, and that's exactly what you want to do. Get somebody in front who can either clean up a rebound or receive a pass. And that's a great job by NC State.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing, and it's another face-off win. Pansel, shot through traffic. Guess who? Andre van Reinbach. There with the catching glove once again. And Chris, it's something we're going to have to do at the intermission, but I'm just curious what his save percentage is to this point. And I would imagine it's going to be high up there, high 80s, low 90s. That's just how good he's been. Skated back by NC State toward the front of the net. Shot wide of the cage. Pansel holds it at the blue line. Chipped right back down low. Kristoff on his backhand. Gives for Banashevitz. He'll curl around. Held and holding still is Bieberdorf. He'll drive back behind. Bieberdorf curling on his backhand, elevates it, and it's another stop off the shoulder of Van Reinbach. In the near side corner now. Play broken by Oakley. Here's Bieberdorf in front, poke checked away by the Blue Devil netminder. Bly, quick D-to-D pass, it'll be poked back forward to Danny Blue. He'll send it down low. There is a little bit of laundry out of the ice. The Blue Devil player has lost his glove. Grzowski trying to send it out. That'll be corralled. Van Reinbach puts it into the corner. Odd, holding for the Wolfpack. Dumps it down low. Play established toward the front. Nobody was home for the pass right through the slot, and it's a free clear out for Duke. Odd calling for the puck, and he's got it. Tried to sidestep his man. He was taken down. According to the official, it was all legal. Move back down low, quick slap shot right into the crest of Murbach's uniform coming off the stick of Antar. And that'll be another stop for the Wolfpack netminder. Chris, to be quite honest, it hasn't been a battle of the goaltenders, but both guys have just looked solid to say the least. Van Reinbach with a star-studded performance to this point. Murbach calmly, quietly, doing his job and still flying under the radar, and he's had a good game as well.
He has. He's been up to just about every task that he's had to face. So it's exactly what you want to see out of your goalkeeper. But you can't say enough about how Andre Van Rynbach is playing. He's the only reason Duke still has a chance.
Exactly, and if you're watching this game, you most certainly cannot think that Duke is going to come back, but if you look at score and score only, it's a 3-goal game, and NC State has yielded 3-goal leads twice prior this season. Pardon, I take that back, 3 times this season against Carolina, Virginia, and a comeback effort in their first game against Wilmington. Icing called on the place. The face-off comes back to Van Rynbach's end with 2:52 remaining in the second period. Face-off to the Duke netminder's glove side. Dumped all the way back down low. Heyman chasing it down, Gallagher after it. A bouncing puck given right back to Heyman behind the net, trying to send it back for Gallagher. The Blue Devils intercept, and they'll send it all the way back down. Stryker fielding it. State will go 200 feet. Sliding it across the way, Banashevitz misses his man. Here he goes. Banashevitz dropping Heyman. One too many passes as the Blue Devils clear it out of play. Still in their defensive zone, though.
That's exactly right, Drew, and a lot of times tonight we've seen Mackie Heyman take some shots that were still good shots, but in situations where he probably should have passed. In that situation, he needed to rip that one. If he goes top left over the blocker of Van Rynbach, I think he finds the net and scores. He just tried to make it too fancy with that pass.
Slap shot through traffic. Van Rynbach gives up the rebound. Farhat wrapping it down for Heyman. He'll look toward the front of the net. Gallagher, recipient of a golden opportunity, and Van Rynbach on top of his crease makes yet another stop. This goaltender, I think that's about all you can say. This goaltender. What a job he's done tonight. Sent right back down low. Gallagher trying to curl it around. Picked right back up by the Blue Devils. Heyman cycling around with it. Holding, sends a shot, tipped toward the net. Gallagher going after it once again. He'll get it in the corner, trying to establish a play. The Blue Devils' first breakout attempt is unsuccessful. Held by Heyman. Dekes out of his man's grasp, but it'll be taken right back. Kevin Brook brings his way across the line. He had Neswick with him, but lost the puck. Moves right back up and across the blue line. Here come the Wolfpack once again, trying to curl it through center. Banashevitz loses the puck, brought back by Cahill. Across the blue line, dropping it. Neswick shot blocked. Cahill having it behind the net, leaves that one into some open space. State wins the foot race, and now we have a disturbance back behind the net. We're going to have a penalty coming up.
It looks, Drew, like these are going to be matching penalties to Cook and Cahill. They were going at it right next to the NC State net after the puck was gone, and a great job by the referee to stop it immediately. You don't want to let this game get out of hand, and this is exactly how you do it.
80 seconds exactly remaining in this second period. 4-1 for the Wolfpack. The face-off down to the glove side of Eric Murbach. And Duke seems to be having some trouble getting their personnel out there. All seems to be settled. We'll go 4-a-side for the next 2 minutes, and that may very well carry over into the next period. Penalties are up on the scoreboard, and the puck is dropped. Duke wins the first face-off, brought back at the blue line. That's one of the first draws they've won this period. NC State has been dominant in that statistical category. Skated right back up through the zone, chipped ahead. Here come the Wolfpack once again. Shot toward the net and wide. Well defended on the opportunity by NC State. Duke curling with it. Good puck control by Barr. Moving it quickly ahead for Sugden. Trying to send that one ahead. Neswick will chase it down. Lost the puck and got body checked in the process. Here come the Wolfpack. Right back across the blue line again. Stepping in Sunda. Lost it. Drop back. It'll be shot in toward the net. Backhanded along the way. Curling with it here. It'll be skated right back up by Duke, thrown all the way back down. It could be icing if it reaches the goal line. And they are going to give the benefit of the doubt to NC State. Icing will be whistled. And Chris, when you're down to 23 seconds and some change left, if I was an official, I might would have let that icing go. It was so close.
It was very slow, but obviously the puck reaches the goal line before Sean Bly gets to it. So it is an icing call, but yes, you would consider letting that go if you're an official. Still, by the book, that's the right call.
Free chance for the Wolfpack off the draw. Striker throws it down low for Aud, dropping back toward the front of the net. One timing opportunity through the goal mouth. Nobody was there. Wing sent right back down low. 7 seconds remaining in the period. Duke trying to pin it up on the boards. It'll be skated down low. Wing with a last-ditch opportunity, and that is where the horn is going to sound. Ending the period for NC State. It's another very valiant effort by Duke, and especially led by the charge of their goaltender Van Reinbach. But NC State is still up a field goal, this time by the count of 4-1.
Yeah, and it was a solid period from the Wolfpack, but they only come away with one goal. And when you have as many shots as NC State did in that period, somewhere around 22 to 23 shots, you have to find the back of the net more.
Coming up on the second period intermission report, we'll have Mike Gazzillo upstairs in the booth for the Coach's Corner. Third period action is soon to follow. You're watching Wolfpack Sports TV's coverage of NC State Wolfpack ice hockey.
Welcome back to Wolfpack Sports Television as we cover the NC State hockey team. I'm here with Coach Mike Gazzillo for the second intermission report. Coach, before the game, you mentioned two keys for this team tonight. No turnovers and a lot of shots. How do you think your team's been doing?
In the turnover department, I think we're doing pretty well. I think we could play a little better in our defensive zone for the few times that we've been in there. We're not doing what I really want. As far as the shots, I mean, we're doing well. 25 in the first period, 19 in the second, so I'm happy with that.
All right, now you have goalie Eric Murbach in net tonight. He hasn't played in a long time. Looked a little bit shaky to start, but he settled in and looks pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's looking real good. And, you know, the goal that they scored was a real nice – I mean, the guy top-shelved it. So, I mean, those are tough to stop. But, yeah, he's in. He's covering a lot. But I'd rather him do that if, you know, anybody's uncertain than just, you know, throwing it out. I'll take my chances on a face-off.
All right, now, you mentioned that the puck hasn't been in your defensive end very much, but the defense not looking quite as good as you would like. What would you like to see out of them in the third period?
I think I just would like to see us keep our feet moving a little bit more in the defensive zone, and I think I would like to see our guys picking up the checks and being on the defensive zone of the puck a little bit more. If I can get that, I'll be real happy.
Now, on the offensive end, a lot going on. Looks very good. The cycle working very well. Also, a lot of shots to the net. What else do you want to see out of your offense in the third period?
If anything, I would say maybe use the points a little bit more. We are cycling it low. We're getting it to the net. We're getting guys to the net. That's what we've been talking about all week. I think there are a couple opportunities. Maybe we could have thrown it back to the point, but that'd probably be the only thing that I would say that we can improve on.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, anytime.
All right. We'll be right back with third period action. The score right now, NC State 4, Duke 1. You're watching NC State hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.
20 minutes till the finish line. NC State holding a 4-1 lead over the Duke Blue Devils. Drew Blevins alongside Chris Lehman. Chris, it has been all pack, all game, and it would be very easily a runaway right now had it not been for number 30 in the Blue Devil net.
Exactly. Andre Van Reinbach has had an excellent game at NC State. 44 shots on net. They had 19 in the second period, 25 in the first period, and only four goals. Lots of shots, not enough goals, but as you said, NC State could be running away with it, and you see that in the crowd. They're very confident that their Wolfpack are going to come home with a win. That's why you see that it has cleared out so much.
It's Tom Stryker trying to lay that one up and ahead. It's intercepted, brought back down low by Barr. Dropping it, Brook, long shot through traffic, rebounded. It was a juicy one. But Neswick could not quite catch up to it. Backhanded, and a bouncer will be taken down low. Banishevitz after the puck, and he'll look up ice with it. Skated across the way. Heyman trying to lay it up and forward for the zone. Backhanded back once more. Sent all the way back down. Murbach Shoveling for Stryker now. Moving it all the way up. Mackie Heyman, he's got some space to work with. Dropping it. Banashevitz dinking in the slot. Holding, shooting one. Van Reinbach is there again. Banashevitz shoots one from an off angle, and it's going to be corralled by Van Reinbach. Can't say enough about what he's meant to the team, but NC State clearly out and on the prowl once more. Face-off over on the blocker side of Van Reinbach. Puck is dropped, taken by the Wolfpack. Up at the point, moved down low by Oakley. Taken across the way, Bieberdorf. Trading places with Kristoff. Bieberdorf holding, shooting one. Van Reinbach's there again, and he'll melt it down. Chris, I think for the Wolfpack, the thing they're looking for now is you don't necessarily have to keep it full throttle, but you need a 60-minute effort to win this hockey game, and that's something encouraging to see. The State only has one out-of-conference game left, and that will be next Friday right here against the University of North Carolina Charlotte 49ers.
I will say, Drew, one of the things that Coach Gazzillo said in his interview in the second intermission was that he wants to see NC State use the points a little more. They haven't done that yet. Bieberdorf had a chance to do that down along the half boards. He decided to take a shot. I'm sure Coach Gazzillo a little bit frustrated with that, but I expect to see NC State try to get back to the point more.
Toward the slot, kicked over toward the net. Van Reinbach melts it down once again. And would you be surprised at all when I tell you that now his save percentage is over what his season average is, as he's over 91% in that category tonight?
Not at all. NC State has just peppered him with shots all night, and he's been up to just about every task. You can't really ask for much more out of a goaltender when he faces nearly 50 shots and only gives up 4 goals.
This will be taken by the Blue Devils. Up on the sidewall, now they'll work it across the ice. Picked up by Neswick. Skating it quickly forward, down low toward the goal line. Neswick pulling with it, working it down low, trading places. Fredenberg picks off the pass. He'll go back to behind. Fredenberg skated straight up ahead once again, and he's going to be thwarted at the blue line momentarily by Schaefer. Farhat skating his way up and ahead. Reed Farhat has it. Moved up to center for Sunda. Trying to chip that one ahead. Both wingers have to try to stay onside. Engel pressuring Barr. Lost the puck. NC State has it on the defensive line now. Cook sends that one into the zone. Batted down. Picked up Fredenberg. Held by Cook at the blue line. Long wrist shot through traffic. Tip. It's scored! It goes in! And if the game wasn't already over now, it should be over, as the tip-in goal will be accredited to Danny Fredenberg, and it's 5-1 NC State.
Drew, that was one heck of a tip there from Fredenberg. Great job to be in position and get his stick on that puck. Again, you can't blame Van Reinbach for that. He couldn't really see it. The initial shot's not on net. Just a great play by NC State to put another one on the board.
So the tip-in finally beats Van Reinbach. And with now 3 minutes gone by in this third period, NC State is up a 4 spot. And most certainly, if they lose this lead, they deserve to lose the game entirely. Move back down low, pulled off the sideboards. Bieberdorf circling with it, chips it down low. Odd, trying to move it back in front for Bieberdorf, and it's going to be pinned on the side of the net by Van Reinbach. So the face-off will stay down low in the Wolfpack attacking zone. Drop back. Holding with it, Bieberdorf trying to move it to the front, and he lost it. Here comes Duke, trying to now at least play for pride and keep it respectable. Tom Stryker skating it ahead. Bieberdorf chipping it over on the side now. Here he goes. Bieberdorf on his backhand, trying to move it over for Aud, who had a gaping net, but the pass was blocked off at the last moment by Ben Berger. Long shot through traffic, blocked on the way through. The Blue Devils may have an opportunity brewing. Stryker Moving his way through. It'll be picked up. Bieberdorf has it once again. Here goes Will Bieberdorf, trying to drop it back for Odd. Successfully does so. He'll carry it. Curls to the point. Striker, holding. Tried to fire it, faked it, and goes low. Odd, tipping for Bieberdorf, knocked to his knees. Moved up at the point. Striker, long wrist shot. Van Reinbach is equal to the task. In the corner now, Odd, trying to bring it through his feet. Has it, moves it up to the opposite side point. Striker calling for it. It'll be moved down low for Odd once again. Chipping low for Danny Blue. Behind the net, Bieberdorf takes it. He'll cycle around. Bieberdorf holding, curling his way across. Back for Blue. Holding in the far side corner, shooting one, and he ripped it high. Wing falls to his feet, lost an edge. Could be an opportunity for Duke. Here they come, carried across by Taylor. Dinking, shooting one! And he had Murbach beat if he had been able to get a pass across to Scott Rolston. But nonetheless, Murbach keeps the only blemish on his mark is the goal he allowed in the first minute of the second period. Up in neutral ice, Panzel. Quick DDD pass, Wing flying that one forward, intended for Odd. Ran a little wild on him. It'll be taken back by the Blue Devils. Here they come, good hit across the blue line. Drop back along, Gallagher will call for it ahead. He has it, lost it. Up at the point, Schaefer shooting one! Murbach has it up, pinned on his chest. And the face-off will stay in the Duke zone. Good work by Murbach. That was a real pinball of a puck as it came in forward.
Absolutely, a great job to control that rebound. The way that puck was bouncing, it's almost like a knuckleball. And a good job to hold on to that, because if he leaves that one sitting there, Duke had a player right on the doorstep to poke it home.
Gallagher pulls it away. Nobody with him for the time being. Here he goes, one-on-one, wrist shot. Blockered into the corner. Heyman setting it up down low. Pass intended for Gallagher, deflected. It'll be skated right back out. Carrying ahead for the Blue Devils is Sugden. Drops it back. Mackie Heyman read the pass. It'll be skated back up and ahead. Heyman shucks a body check. It'll be moved down low by Duke. Bly holding the puck, sends it ahead. Bly trying to do it himself, moves it up and ahead for Gallagher. Here he goes across the line, drops it back. Banishevitz, Heyman, one-timer, scored! Oh, baby! Tic-tac-toe! Mackie Heyman! The man, the myth, the monster scores 6-1 for NC State.
And that's just what makes people come back to keep watching hockey. That's what's fun to watch. Plays like that where it just works perfectly and it just looks beautiful. A great goal from NC State. That may be the best goal of the season.
He finished that one right where Grandma keeps the cookies in the top shelf. And NC State continues to extend their lead. Bieberdorf pulls the draw back and now takes it for himself. Here he goes. He beat all three defenders. Bieberdorf holding, shooting one. He missed it badly. Farad backhands that one along. Farad sends it down low. Kristoff now moved up. Andrew Kristoff had it hop his stick. Skated up and ahead in the neutral zone. Picked up and lost by Oakley all in one simple stride. Kristoff pulls it off the sideboards, tripped on the way through, no penalty. The crowd wanted one.
Well, that's the benefit of having two referees in an NHL game. Only one referee on the ice for NC State. He had his back turned. You can't fault him for missing that. He's got to watch a lot of ice.
On the back defensive line, Duke trying to move it forward. Peter Galindez looking to skate it forward. It'll be poked. NC State wins the foot race to the puck in open ice. At this point, Chris, do you think it becomes just about killing time?
Absolutely, and I hope to see the fewer stoppages of play, as I think everybody in this rink does, to have this game go by a little quicker. But that's exactly what it is. NC State needs to just look to kill time and continue to work on the things that have given them success in this game.
The crowd of a solid 400 has thinned out to, I'd say, right around maybe 100 at best. Skated back down low. Neswick loses the puck. NC State will cycle back behind their own net. Brought up and ahead through the zone. Sunda charges forward. Here he goes. Garrett Sunda works to the outside. Shooting one. Van Reinbach is there. Another good opportunity on the doorstep was Danny Fredenberg. So State continues to try to manufacture offense.
Well, you continue to see the NC State offense get better. The passes are now connecting, just about all of them. We saw it on the goal. You see it on the chance there. NC State continues to develop throughout this game.
There's a shot deflected on the way through by Engel, but he couldn't quite finish the job by putting it on net. Stryker shoves this one across the way, and it'll be flipped into the zone. Lifted high and hard off the glass by a Blue Devil defenseman. It was Cahill. Wolfpack bringing it forward at the blue line. Here comes Sunda, working his way in, shooting one. Good stop by Van Reinbach, trying to cover it up, and he couldn't find it. Cahill holding the puck. Quickly up through the zone. This will go all the way down. Icing is going to be waved by the far linesman. I believe it tipped off an NC State stick on the way through. All the way up and forward. Engel backhands this one along. Corralled by the Wolfpack. Good pressure applied by Aud. He'll send one toward the net, cut off by Danny Blue. The Wolfpack will cycle now on the far side boards. Curled back behind the net. Blue holding, looking for somebody to pass to. Stryker trying to jockey for position. Blue, he looks like he wants to do it himself. All sorts of tied up, and he couldn't get a shot onto the net. The Blue Devils have it. They'll work out on the stretching the ice all the way forward. Across the blue line they come. And across the zone, big hit late on the far side. Brook holding, gonna get a little bit of help from Sugden. He'll pull the puck free. Sugden cycling, looking, sends that one on an off angle. Good stop by Murbach as he tends to his side goalpost. Stryker trying to pull it back, puck's intercepted. Skated back by Schaefer with a little bit of room. Schaefer drops it back, shooting one. Murbach got a piece of it. Right back in front, Sugden whacking at it. It was blocked on the way through. NC State has a 2-on-1 brewing. Kristoff holding, drops it back, on, chipping it back, on, across, looking one last time in front. They scored! Finished by Kristoff! Simply outstanding passing, and the Wolfpack have a touchdown on the scoreboard.
And again, we talked about it already a lot this period. The passing is great. An excellent job by Alex Aud to notice that Dan Blue is trailing and gives them a 3-on-1. It just spreads them out more and it gives them the better opportunity. And Kristoff just sitting right on the doorstep. All he had to do was tap it home.
Simply outstanding work by Andrew Kristoff, and he was the architect of that play as he gets that puck, breaking it out from the blue line. Great vision by Aud as well. So the face-off comes back to center ice. NC State up 7-1. Drop back onto the Blue Devil blue line. Kicked ahead. Banashevitz dropping it back. Sent up quickly forward. Mitchell Gallagher, long lanky forward, stopping at the face-off circle. Swiftly across, shooting one. Banashevitz off the side of the net. Rebound was right back toward the front. Well tended by Van Reinbach. Mackie Heyman curling with the puck, holding up at the point, slap shot through traffic, tip wide of the net. Wolfpack pull it out of the pile. Up top, Pansel shooting one, blocked. Got to give credit to Duke. NC State is trying to utilize the points, but the Blue Devils have been there and they've blocked quite a considerable amount of shots.
That's one of the reasons you don't see NC State with more goals. Now they do have 7, but there could be a lot more, and that's due to the fact that NC State's done a great job getting a lot of shots, but a lot of them have been blocked.
One-timer by Pansel is stopped by Van Reinbach. 9:22 remaining in this third period, 7-1, Wolfpack leading the Blue Devils, and I believe a little bit of jawing going on, and will we see penalties levied? No, we will not. And at this point, believe me, the Blue Devils have just been absolutely throttled. And they want to get on that bus and head right back to Durham. Coming to Raleigh this year has not been a pleasurable thing for the Duke Blue Devils. Losing in basketball, losing their undefeated record in men's basketball by 12 to a resilient NC State team. And now it most certainly appears, if all signs point north, that NC State will send them packing in ice hockey as well. Curl toward the front of the net. Van Reinbach is there. Early whistle. The puck is in. But the face-off will stay down low as the whistle was blown considerably before that puck entered into the cage.
And the referee there just lost sight of the puck, so he does what he's supposed to do. He blows the whistle. And again, that's why it helps to have two referees out there and not just one. You have two sets of eyes. That play stays alive and NC State scores. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. NC State just needs to finish this one out.
Skated back by the Blue Devils. Curling with it here, Bieberdorf, and he lost it. Taken back by Duke, only to the red line, though. For NC State, though, this is a good way to get any kinks that they may have left out of the system. They play Wake Forest on the road tomorrow. Van Reinbach makes the save. Puck's behind him. He does the starfish, finding it again. So for NC State, quite honestly, it becomes a race against the clock. They control their own destiny for the #1 seed in the ACCHL. They'd be back-to-back regular season champions, although by point values, it's a four-way tie at the top. And the University of North Carolina is in there, and that is the last game of the season on the road for the Wolfpack. They will travel to Hillsborough to play Tar Heels. Worked right back in front on the goal line. Van Reinbach is totally down and out. He's squished. Somehow that puck stayed out of the net, and Andre Van Reinbach gets up and shakes off the 3 or 4 Wolfpackers that had piled on top of his back.
I don't know how that puck didn't go in, Drew. It was getting whacked at in all directions. The net was wide open with Van Reinbach down on the ground. Again, great job by Duke to clog the front of the net. If they're not there, then it's a goal.
Matching minors have been levied for that scuffle in the goal crease. And they are going to be assessed to Andrew Kristoff and Ben Berger. Pardon, they have given the state penalty to number 25, Alec Engel, instead. So 4-on-4 hockey. But Chris, what I was saying is playing against Carolina and Hillsborough, another stop by Van Reinbach. Playing against the Tar Heels in Hillsborough may become a game for that #1 seed because, believe it or not, UNC also has 10 points in the standings.
Oh yeah, and UNC has looked very good this season. NC State put a little bit of a throttling on them here at the Iceplex. It'll be interesting to see what goes on over in Hillsborough, but that's a good team this year. They're one to look out for.
And they're young, too, so they're going to be good for years to come. They hosted the James Sibikowski tournament in Chapel Hill all the way back in November, and they won it, as well as taking state's tournament trophy, the Stephen Russell Memorial.
Now, the one thing you do have to look at in the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament is you don't want to take anything away from North Carolina, but they didn't play the top competition. They didn't have to play NC State, and they didn't have to play some of the other top teams, as well as they had an extra game over NC State. Still a very good team, but the championship not necessarily indicative of who was the best team out there.
Blue Devils across the blue line. It'll be held once again by Kevin Brook, who's easily been their best player tonight, even though he did not get credit for the goal earlier. Skated back up by the Wolfpack, and they'll try to spread it back forward. Carried in by Blue, lost an edge. It'll be floated right back out. And the other thing about the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament is NC State was right there in it. They ended up finishing 3rd in the standings, but they only got to play 2 games due to ice time constraints. They've been able to play 1 more, who knows? They could have very well retained their own tournament trophy. State holding in the slot, spin shot by Odd, blocked on the way through. Back behind the net, Berglund going after the puck for the Blue Devils, sending that one up. It's Corral Galindez trying to move it up, breaking it out. And that seems to be the storyline of the night. Duke has been able to get the puck out, but no further than the blue line, just enough time to regroup. Odd, holding, shooting. Van Reinbach makes another save. Skated back, here comes Neswick. He brings it across the blue line, slapper, and that one sails well out of play. The scary thing about the Tar Heels, though, Chris, is they were the team that defeated the Virginia Cavaliers, and that's the team State lost to. If State doesn't lose that game in the Stephen Russell Memorial Tournament, they're easily the undoubted, undisputed leader in the ACCHL.
And I still think they're at least close to that, because if you look at the second period of that game, NC State did not play very well. It was not a full 60-minute effort from the squad, and that's why I think they lost that game. If they play a full 60 minutes, I think they can beat anybody in this league.
And honestly, I think that's the loss that stings the most. You're not expected to beat the number 3, number 2 team in the ACCHA Southeast. You're not expected to beat the number 11 team in the ACCHA Southeast. Miami comes up here and wins in a shocker, and that comes the night after State dropped a game at UNCW, who has historically been a good team, but those are all out-of-conference losses, as well as was the game to Louisville back in November.
And I think it's good for NC State to schedule those out-of-conference games against strong competition, because as you see tonight, it's very beneficial.
Brought ahead, Mackie Heyman's shot sails wide. Panzel holding low. Banishevitz dipsy doodles around his man. Drop back. Heyman shooting one. Missed it wide. Taken by the Blue Devils. Thomas Cahill trying to set it up. Pass intended to go up for Rolston, but never made it to him. Gallagher holding, dropping. Panzel lost it to his own man. Shot blocked on the way through by Van Reinbach. Up at the point. State holding once again. Worked on the side. Banishevitz holding. Faking, works around his man again. Banishevitz has the puck on a straight backhander to rebound. Van Reinbach run over on the play. Duke will go and get it in the far side corner under 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Kristoff now to Banishevitz. Right back for Andrew Kristoff. Tried to beat his man, he was poke checked. Panzel will hold the puck, just killing some clock. Carried in by Bieberdorf. Sidesteps his man, dropping it off. Rolled low by Oakley. Bieberdorf chasing it down. Holding and looking. Bieberdorf. Long shot through traffic. And it'll be stopped and held on to by Van Reinbach with 4:16 remaining in the third period. 2 big points for the Wolfpack in ACCHL play. And they will look to make it a 4-point weekend tomorrow with a win at Wake Forest. And that's another team that's been on the rise. There's a shot, sails high of the net. Chopped down, Neswick rolling it around at the boards. And Chris, for me at least, this just speaks to the overall development of the ACCHL. Southern hockey, it's been a monopoly in the Raleigh area and in the Washington, D.C. area for seemingly ever. And now all of a sudden these other teams are sprouting out and turning out to be pretty good.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, a lot of it is, there's more development in the area. You're seeing a lot more opportunities for kids to get on the ice and start to learn the game earlier, and I think you're seeing the result here at this level.
Bieberdorf across the blue line, holding, shooting one. Van Reinbach makes the save, puts it over into the corner. And Chris, you wonder, now with the recent success of Southern hockey at the professional level, how much does that have to do with it? The Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup back in 2006, and since then a spike in interest in youth hockey has sprung forward, and those players will be coming up and into college in the very near future. The Washington Capitals seem to be perennial playoff contenders, and once again that contributes to the development of Georgetown and George Washington. How much does that play into this?
Oh, it's absolutely a part of it. I mean, that's where it all starts. Kids go to the game, they see the players, they want to be like them, and that's how they start playing. I don't know about you, Drew, but that's what got me started. Was watching guys play, and I wanted to be out there on the ice playing. That's how I got into it. That's how most guys get into it.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what's causing this.
When the Canes came to Raleigh, it was Archer Zerbe who inspired me for the first time to get in the leg pads and try to play net. And that dream of doing something with hockey didn't die for 12 and a half years until I decided to take up broadcasting. Moved back by Sunda now, working his way in, shooting that one high. Approaching the 2-minute mark remaining in the third period, 7-1 NC State. Back up in the neutral zone. This will be thrown in. Duke will give chase. It'll be Kevin Brook losing the foot race. Fredenberg will skate it out. Giving ahead, Sunda trying to find Engel. Looking to win the foot race, avoid icing. Engel rubbed out. Brook carrying the puck ahead for the men in blue. Straight up come the Blue Devils, laid into the zone. Looking over his shoulder, Wing. On his backhand up for Fredenberg now. Fredenberg will look to skate it across the blue line, bringing it all the way forward. Engel now working on the outside. Holding, toe drags by his man. Cutting toward the front of the net, wraparound opportunity, left it in front. Lollipopped all the way back out to center, and NC State will give chase. Stryker will hold it, lays a weak pass forward. Chipped into the zone, Duke will handle. Moved up Galindez. Skating quickly through the zone. Hacked out of his grasp momentarily. Galindez shooting one, Murbach makes the save. Up at the blue line, Duke will throw it right back in. 1 minute remaining in the third period. NC State will improve their record to 9-5 on the season, 6-1 in the conference. Duke will fall to 3-8, 1-7 in the conference. But you can most certainly not fault the effort of the Blue Devils, especially the young man in the number 30 uniform.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that really speaks to the character of this Duke team, is they come out every night and end up with games like this, most of them closer than this, but they still a lot of times come away with just that bad feeling in your gut after a loss. And to be able to come out every night and put this effort out is incredibly respectable, and you have to commend this team for coming out and fighting for the full 60 minutes.
Right back down low, it was tipped on the way through. Grzowski will give chase with 30 seconds remaining. Bly sending that one ahead. NC State stretching the ice. Odd lays that one forward. Bieberdorf, he took a hit. Odd trying to go after the puck. Down to the final 10 seconds remaining in the period, but the game will be prolonged just a little bit longer as the linesman whistles a hand pass down to the Duke zone.
And that was a little bit of a dangerous hit there on Bieberdorf. Nothing really dirty. He's not looking. That's the only thing that maybe you can argue about. The hit wasn't to the head, and I think that's what saves Bieberdorf from a serious injury. If he takes that one to the head, he might be out before he hits the ice.
Taken back by the Wolfpack. They'll hold. Looking to work through a couple of skates. Off the pads of Van Reinbach. 5 seconds remaining. And a bouncer comes all the way back down to Eric Murbach, who will once again secure a victory like he has so many times before for NC State. And with his backstopping skill and an offensive show by the Wolfpack, they secure an ACCHL League victory over the Duke Blue Devils by a final count of 7-1. Chris, it's a 60-minute effort for NC State. It's unfortunate that they do yield a goal, but nonetheless, the Wolfpack, unbelievable tonight. This is a total turnaround.
Absolutely, and I think you just mentioned the most important number, 60. They played a full 60 minutes. In the other games that we've watched since the turn of the year, NC State has not been able to because they've been out of shape. They did some extra skating after practices this week. They've worked on getting themselves back into shape. 15 of these guys are going twice a week to do CrossFit workouts, and it's showing. The effort was there, now the stamina is there, and you see a full 60-minute effort.
A huge win for the Wolfpack, as right now they hold the sole position of number 1 in conference play. Don't go away. We'll be right back with our post-game updates, interviews from the players of the game, and the head coach himself in Mike Gazzillo. You've been watching NC State Ice Hockey. Stay tuned for the post-game show. Until then, signing off for Chris Lehman, I'm Drew Blevins. Final score, Wolfpack 7, Blue Devils 1. Have a great night, everybody.
Welcome back to the post-game report here on Wolfpack Sports Television. NC State taking down Duke by a score of 7-1. I've got the players of the game, Eric Murbach and Mackie Heyman with me. Eric, I'm going to start with you. Your first game between the pipes in a long time. How did it feel?
It felt great to get back out there. It's a little different on this rink because it's the first time I've been out here. It's a little bit bigger rink, and just wanted to shake off that rust for the first game.
So after that first goal you gave up was a great shot. What was your mindset after that? Because it's been a while since you've given one up, but what was your focus? You weren't seeing a lot of shots. How do you keep yourself ready?
Well, after the goal, I just thought no more. That was it. That was one. Just waited for the first one to go in, and then there's no pressure from there on out. So just stay refocused on it.
All right, Mackie, now I'm going to turn to you. You had 2 goals tonight. The first one, kind of a crazy goal. Can you walk us through what was going on there?
Yeah, so, we're getting a lot of shots on net. I think the first couple of shifts, we just had a couple of chances. Finally got one in front. I just, coach is telling us shoot, so I'm trying to get it on net. Happened to miss the net, hit the back kind of where the glass meets it, just a nice little bouncer. I thought this would be the best way with shooting on the ice, so I was like, let's try missing the net. And it went off his back and went in, so, what can you say? Yeah, so it's kind of crazy, but.
Just whatever works.
Hey, it went in, a goal to goal. They don't ask how many, they ask how many. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
All right, well, let's go to the second goal. That was a pretty goal. Great passing, and the passing really picked up in the third period. What can you say about that?
Yeah, so, we're getting a lot of shots, and they started playing a little passive, I think, and we had opportunities to pass the puck, and pass to me. I tried to kind of in my feet, try to get it on net and went in, so, it was nice passing from all around. I think we had a couple of nice passing goals, so good all around, I'd have to say.
All right, thank you, Mackie. Now I'm going to turn to you one more time, Eric. You saw more of the defensive end down in net. What did you see defensively out of your team?
Oh, they were great. Back checking and defensive players bringing them to the boards. Everything was wide. They didn't give them any high-quality shots, so everyone played great in front of me, and the whole team just performed outstanding, and it was great to get another ACC win.
All right, thank you, guys. These are the stars of the game, Eric Murbach and Mackie Heyman. We'll be right back with Coach Mike Gazzillo. You're watching NC State Hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack. Welcome back to the post-game report here at NC State Hockey, taking down the Duke Blue Devils by a score of 7-1. I'm Chris Lehman. I've got Coach Mike Gazzillo with me now. Coach, an all-around great game from your team. What did you like the most about that performance?
Everything. Mostly, I think it was getting the shots to the net. That was something we preached all week. Pucks to the net, bodies to the net. One shot turned into 3, whatever it takes. And we needed to mount some more offense, and that's what we did. I'm happy with that.
And now it really looks like your team is taking into account what you're saying. You were talking about more shots from the point going into the third period, and you get that goal on the tip from Danny Fredenberg on the shot from the point. What did you think of that?
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about, right? The defense gets the puck. Their job isn't to score. It's to get the puck to the net. If it goes in, that's great. But other than that, we want to get guys there. So we get the puck low so our guys aren't afraid to get in front, of it and stick on the ice, and good things happen.
All right, now one of the hardest things after a big win like this is to find the things that are wrong and fix them. What did you see out of your team that you would like to see them do better next week?
Well, we got Wake Forest tomorrow night, and so I want to carry the momentum. 72 shots on goal we had, which is a pretty good number, I would say. And we gave up, I don't know, I think it was 12 going into the third period, and I think they only had 5. So I think tomorrow night I would like to see us continue with the shots to the net, and I think I want to see us playing good. I think Wake Forest is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. They're a little grittier. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a physical game. So, it's great that we won this, but guys got to stay focused. Right now, if we win tomorrow night and we beat Duke, then we win the ACC championship for about the 3rd year in a row. So, there you go.
All right, so one more thing for you. You mentioned the physicality of Wake Forest. What are you going to do with your team to try and combat that?
We got some guys that can hit. They're not afraid of it. And I told them tonight, just because you're wearing pink don't mean you can't hit. There's nothing wrong with going out and throwing a body a little bit. We did a little bit tonight. You don't want too much of it when you got a physical game coming up the night after, And if we can beat them with some finesse and just getting the pucks to the net, that'll be fine. And then we can kind of try to stay away from the physical stuff, try to stay healthy.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, that does it for us tonight. For Drew Blevins and the rest of our production crew, I'm Chris Lehman. The final score, NC State 7, Duke 1. You've been watching NC State Hockey on Wolfpack Sports Television, bringing you into the pack.